Aloysius has gone out. Yeah, Aloysius is out. Surprisingly there to Copigny. Went down to 9-11, so.
Yeah, I'm sure Yap wanted to have a good deep run in this event. Plays out of this club. But it's no disgrace losing to Copigny.
So the one's dropped. A little bit unfortunate when that happens. He was targeting the one to come up around that area, of course, and when it goes in, it's a little bit more down to luck whether or not he got a shot on the two, and in this case, I don't think he has. He might be able to see it.
Yeah, I think he can see it, but if I was to have a little sneaky bet. He's looking, that looks like he's looking at the potting angle, so maybe he can.
Good shot.
Well, he could see the potting angle, and where the cue ball's finished, he'll be happy with that. Still got to get past this ball. 96 players started this event, the Asian 9-ball Open. We're down to the final 16. And also there's a 32-player ladies event that's just starting out. You can check out the draw and the live scores over at digitalpool.com, and we'll try and update you as always here as well.
Oh.
Put a quick one in there, did Oi.
So the pool term to put a quick one in, coming from snooker, I've always wondered, it just means that the draw back and the follow through is you're not doing a slow draw back, you're just sort of swinging at it a bit quickly.
Just not smooth as well.
Right.
Often it can be caused by a player being anxious, and I think Oi knew that was a big shot in the rack. It was a lot bigger than the 2-ball for some reason. It just, that's the way it plays in your mind. You just feel like it's almost like you're saying to yourself, if I pot this and I cue it great, I'm off and running, and then all of a sudden you don't, and now you're sat in your chair.
It's inevitably at that exact situation. You've done all the hard work, you've got the easy ones less, and you think to yourself, I'm out, and that's the one you miss, right? It's a lack of focus, things going through your mind.
Yeah, and then obviously now, you know, when you're playing a player of this caliber, you just don't know how many racks it can cost you. It is alternate break, so we know he's going to get a break shot. So the missed ball from Oi was cost him rack 2.
I didn't hear you guys. I listened to a bit of your commentary with Eddie, but I didn't hear you guys talking about the equipment much.
A little bit more so on the opening couple of days, really, because obviously it's all brand new. The balls are brand new, so the players, I think more on day one, may struggle a little bit with the kick in and the positional play, but I think because we're well into the event now.
Have you had experience playing with these Dynasphere balls? They're from Cyclops, right?
I've actually got a set at home, so I've actually used them on my table. I don't use them now. I use the new black Aramiths just because a lot of the videos I do, it's all based around the Matchroom event, so I want to replicate the balls rather than use a different set. But I like the balls, yeah, they're a good set of balls.
I've heard some players saying they're quite a bit heavier than what they're used to. Are they more or less heavy than the original Cyclops?
Yeah, I think the original Cyclops was a little bit weird, to be honest. I remember playing in China with them, and some balls was, I think, lighter than the others, and they didn't seem to roll how they should have.
Okay.
But
So
I couldn't
maybe
really tell
these
you if
ones are
these. Yeah, I couldn't really tell you if these. I wouldn't. I've not played enough with them to think these are really heavy. I think the big thing I've noticed is, obviously, when I do all the Matchroom events, and since I've done this one, the cloth plays a lot slower. Obviously, that might be
This
weather
CPBA
dependent.
cloth, you mean, or
Yes.
generally in Asia?
No, this table that I've been watching over the 3 days.
I think that's Singapore and the cloth combination of the
Yeah,
humidity and
humidity and the
yeah.
cloth, which I kind of like it a little bit slower, to be honest. I just think the players have got to hit the ball a bit firmer. It can work both ways, because obviously if it's super quick and slick, then things can become a little bit scarier. So there's pros and against.
Missed it on the pro side there. So he hasn't left a shot. Got a hook out of it as well. Kind of a two-way, I suppose, on that one, because he had a shot on the two. But yeah, so these tables all here had a different cloth before on them, which was much slicker and faster actually than this new one. But I agree with you, it plays nice. It plays more like you would expect it to than a brand new cloth. So, but yeah, I agree. You're right. What you've noticed is it's a little slower than what we're used to.
Yeah, on a lot of the shots you can see the ball just seems to hold up. And I know that this table's not got loads of big TV lighting on it, but it definitely plays a little bit slower.
You mentioned the aircon. I mean, obviously it is very cold, and a lot of that is to do with trying to pull the humidity out of the air. So the tables will speed up. The colder the aircon gets, that's part of the reason for it. The very cold air.
That was a nice opening shot there from Moy. Them shots are a lot thinner than what they look like when we're looking at the TV screen. But when you're behind it and you're faced with that type of shot, you always feel a little bit horrible. I think he's played for the 3 in the side, to be honest.
I'm not sure. Yeah. That's a good thing with these cloths. Even when it's new, the check side does take, so the players work that out fast. I think otherwise it would have been coming round in between the 4 and the 7 for the centre. He's tried to check it up, I think, and leave himself an angle to stun across for the 4. Still makeable cut there, Carl? I think so. Oh, he's gone for the bank. It wasn't. He didn't feel like it was. At least it wouldn't have afforded him position, perhaps, to take a swing at the 3 in the middle.
Scrappy start from Moy. He's going to have to rein this in, because Chang Long, he's a serious player.
Not easy here to get on the 4, though. The 9's blocking the corner. I don't think he can draw on top of the 4 to keep it for the other corner pocket. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here. Yeah, he's gone for a shot with a lot of spin, and then lost the pot because of it. He had position actually, but missed the pot.
Another chance for Roy to finally win this rack. He's had 3 chances. That's a good example of the pace of the table. I think on a proper TV table that'd probably run up towards the 9, but it just seems to hold up a little bit quicker, and I do like that. I prefer it when the players have got to just hit it a little bit harder.
I think these kind of conditions probably suit a less experienced or more amateur player, because they play more like a regular club table. Because of that, less speedy. But these guys can handle anything. Obviously, they've played under every kind of condition you can imagine, so they're able to adjust fast.
Oh, he's off the board. Somehow he's off the board after a few mistakes in that rack.
So, looks like has the next round started? Outside.
Yeah, it started, but Digipool, we've been having a few little issues. Not so much Digital Pool, but it's getting the scores on there to update. So these matches are underway.
So the break not gone quite to plan there for Naoki. Most likely going to see a push out here. Maybe up into this top corner by the 3 somewhere to leave him a very tricky cut.
Doesn't look like he can tie another ball up either, does it? It's always nice if you can roll the ball somewhere and stick another ball onto it.
Oh, he might be trying to do that here. Push it. Oh, just, yeah, he's leaving in the cut there. This is a kind of shot where, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really actually lend itself position. So what he's done with pushing that 3 is made that it doesn't go past the 6. Maybe he was thinking that.
It doesn't, but it's more on the left side of the table, so it goes in this left corner easy.
You'd have to get spin on it, and being on the cushion though, that's tough, right? Yeah, he's giving it back. He doesn't like it. I don't blame him, to be honest. He's going to have a pop at this, or he's going to try and get the 1 up behind next to the 7. So it's sort of cross the, you know, side to side shot. Oh, I'm not sure what he did there. I think he did have a go at it. Or maybe he's trying to bring the cue ball up behind the 9.
Yeah,
hasn't left anything easy.
I think that's what he was trying. I think he was just trying to get the cue ball back up behind these wall of balls.
There's no position here, really. Jacked up over the 3. Even if it plays for the bottom right corner, the cue ball's coming round into the 7. I mean, safety shot here. Or is he going to take a swing at it? He's taking a swing. Oh, wow. So he checked it up. Fantastic shot.
Cue ball needs to slow down. And it has done. What a shot he's played there, Chang.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing you learn when you're on tour and you're playing all these players. You can't be loose with the safety. You can't just swing at something where you think you're going to be okay. You've got to really play a shot, because you learn over the years you get punished against the top players.
Yeah, I mean that 3 he shot in, he had to put some spin on that ball to check it up in that direction, right? So to play it with pace and spin and like that, and it's a great shot. It's the kind of shot an amateur's going to need 3, 4, 5 attempts at, right? Whereas the
Some
pros,
of the pros as well.
I was thinking about that earlier on, actually. That, you know, what's the difference between some of these guys who went out in the you know, they lost a couple of matches in the first day or 2 of the tournament, and you know, when they're playing at the club, they look like pros too, but here they're just missing 1 or 2 extra balls under pressure, tough ones, and then that's it, right? That's the difference.
Yeah, and it's a mindset thing, you know. Some of these players are I believe it will be someone who's won a big tournament who's going to snap this event off. I always say that in all the events. I know somebody new can come along at some point and break onto the scene, but I would always pick, let's say if you said you can pick 5 players at every event, I feel like I'm going to be the one that's going to come out better at the tournaments, and I think it's just a case of these guys are used to winning.
Yeah, I wouldn't have predicted Biardo going out.
Yeah, Biardo beat Tien in the winners qualification round 9-2, but he slightly missed the trick at 6-3 up. He hooked himself on a positional shot to go 7-3. That kind of changed the match, and from then on it was very evenly poised, and I thought Tien really handled himself well. There you can see some of the ladies practicing. The ladies event starts today. 32 players, and we will be showing the final of the ladies event come Sunday. Chang to break, he leads 3-1. What do we got here?
I wonder if he's going to have a go at this. And look, he's looking to see the path of the cue ball to come across in between the 8 and the 5, I think, to come back out centre table for the 2. He's deciding whether he's going to have a pop at it. And I mean, the safety's quite easy here, right? So unless he feels it's really in, no need to really go at it. There it goes, and he's, wow, look at that, perfect.
What a brilliant shot that
He's
is.
feeling very comfortable, huh?
Chang really went for it on the one ball. He knew that was the big shot. I'm not saying it was like potting the 9, but he knew if he pots the 1, it's going to give him such a great chance in this rack, and he has done. Look at where the balls are now. This is just a case of connecting the dots. We were talking about putting a quick one, wasn't we, before? It's not something you would associate with Chang. If you just look at his cue and the way he pulls it back, it's very smooth.
It's unusual to see a player so high off the cue with the chin though, right?
Yeah, I think we've seen a few this week. Usually some of the Filipinos are more prone to do that.
Is it an age thing?
No, I don't think it is an age thing. I remember Rodney Morris from America. He used to cue like that when he was younger. I think it's probably down to a couple of things. Maybe it's just a natural thing, the way they stand. Maybe they feel like they can actually see the object ball a little better as opposed to being lower.
Yeah, I have heard that it's easier to make cut shots when you're a bit higher on them.
And also, maybe a coach, let's say somebody who will teach the textbook way, maybe they didn't have a coach, because also wherever you're from as well, because in England, I mean, you won't get taught to do that.
I mean, you never see a snooker player like that. That's kind of where I was coming from.
Not
So,
even a pool player you wouldn't see do that.
right. A lot of them come from snooker, don't they? Of course.
That's what people seem to believe, but
No, not
I
true.
know a few that don't.
Okay.
That looks a useful break. It's going to be jacked up over that ball though.
We saw Tolin Han in the background there. I'm not sure, is he still in? Do we? I think there's a couple of Singaporeans still in, but I don't see the live scores now. I know Desmond Goh was still in when I last looked. He was in his match. Former 9-ball champion here in Singapore. Just heard, unfortunately, Desmond is out. So just trying to look and see if we have any of the Singaporeans still in the draw. And it looks like, unfortunately, not. So
that's a real shame for the event.
But I think they did pretty well to get through to where they did. We had, I think, 4 in the last 32, and then they've all gone out in that last round there, in the first round of the knockout. I think Sharik was doing very well to knock out Raymond Ferron yesterday, who's one of the very strong Filipinos. Sharik is another one of the top young Singapore players who often tours with Aloysius on the overseas tournaments. He's sponsored by the Ronnie O'Sullivan Snooker Club here in Singapore. Have you heard about that, Carl?
I haven't, no.
So it's another relatively new club, about a year old, and have all Rasson tables there, and very nice setup. Ronnie himself came over just recently to do some demo matches there, and yeah, Sharik sponsored by. You must know Sharik from the scene. He's been over to US, played in the US Open. He's been over with Aloy for quite a few of the events.
Yeah, I've seen his name.
So a player with a lot of potential, I think. And of course, you'll know Tolin Han because he's been Aloy's partner for many years in all the Matchroom events and the World Cup of Pool and what have you. And he did pretty well too here. I mean, he was in last time I looked, and yeah, it's just a bit disappointing, but that's the way it goes. Brutal game.
Naoki Oi claws one back. He now trails 4-2. It's important he stays with Chang. He doesn't want to let Chang go on a mad one, because when he relaxes, that's when he's at his strongest.
Yeah, Naoki's will be one of the favourites with the viewers too, because of his entertaining interviews. I recognise this player, but I'm not sure who it is. Robbie Capito in the background there from Hong Kong. It's actually a Filipino.
Yeah, and he's playing Tien, the man who just beat Carlo Biardo.
Yeah, he's been very active round the challenge match scene here in the evenings in the last few days. He's been playing all the strong Filipinos, doing very well. So I wasn't half surprised by what happened there with Biardo. I'm not sure what that was. I think it was a down the middle, right? But he just caught the edge slightly, just caught the side.
Yeah, I
so
would say so.
He wanted the cue ball there to punch up and stop dead in the middle of the table, and then he would have had a shot. As it is, he lost it slightly. It's really a kick or a push here. Left him the edge, doesn't go past the 4, I think.
I think Oi's got to play this shot. I know we're only looking from the top camera, but it might not tell a story. But if he can just chip this ball over to the left and miss him, get the cue ball back down, send the 1 towards the brown 7.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, it just looked obvious to me. I'm very surprised at that push from Chang.
Yeah, he's got him hooked twice.
You know, we can talk about poor positional shots and missed balls and and all that has been mistakes, but that was a big mistake there on the push. You know, you're not playing your 4-year-old son, you're playing the Ukiyo-e. That was a bizarre one, that, and look at the situation he's got himself in here. Maybe he knows something about Oi we don't. But that just looked so obvious, that shot.
It's a tough kick, isn't it?
Yeah, will he play it soft?
3 rails.
No, he won't.
It was close. Looks to me like Zhang playing with one of those Zen cues. Have you heard of those?
I haven't, to be honest. I'm not that up on all the equipment.
Very fancy.
Expensive, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys here who have them. They're about $8 a piece. I don't know if that's the model is, but they can be.
And Zen cues, are they from Chinese Taipei, or were they made?
They Taiwanese, or yeah, I think they're Taiwanese, but I'm not sure about that.
This has been a great event added to the Matchroom calendar. I'm just going to run through some of the events we've got coming up. This is the Asian 9-Ball Open, of course, run by the Asian Pool Federation, sanctioned by Matchroom. The next event on the Matchroom calendar is the PRP 9-Ball Open, 14th to 19th of September. Then we've got a European Tour in Slovenia, the 1st till the 3rd of October. Then we're going over to America for the Sandcastle 9-Ball Open in New Jersey, 6th till the 8th. Then it's the big one, the most prestigious pool tournament in 9-ball, the US Open. Carlo Biardo, who just lost our last match, is defending champion. I believe some tickets are still available, but I remember last year the crowd was fantastic for that. So if you want to go and watch that, head over to matchroompool.com, try and get some tickets. Then it's the International Open straight after, 30th of October till the 5th, a couple of weeks after, should I say. Then there's a Euro Tour in Italy, 25th till the 27th of November. And then it's just a little tournament called the Moscone Cup, Europe versus America. Sold out. However, Matchroom have added 250 seats to the arena. I've been saying this every day, so maybe them seats have sold out. Get over to the website, have a look if there's any tickets, and get yourself there. And also, you can actually host a ranking event if you want. These tournaments are getting added to the Matchroom 9-ball calendar. Email pool@matchroom.com if you want to be a promoter of an event. Get your questions in and we may just see you there.
So as Carl letting you know there about the Matchroom events, Naoki forgot to add right-hand spin on the 4-ball and came up the center of the table and left himself no shot on the 5, but he's defended well. The way that's sat on the back of the 9, he's cut off the angle to kick one cushion at it. I think he said it's either going to be a 2-rail or he's got to get the bridge out. I don't think he can go. I don't know what he's thinking. If he can come behind the 6 with spin, or maybe there's a gap in between there. I could squeeze through there. Okay. Not bad. That's exactly what he tried to do. Slightly softer and it would have been perfect. Of course, the 7's causing him problems to get back on the 6 here, so give him a punch with some inside spin. Yep. Oh, nicely done. Yeah.
Needs another good one here though. Whether it's straight or he's got a little bit of angle, he's going to have to put some force into this one. Get the cue ball moving.
Do you think he's got to draw this all the way back? He's dead straight, right? He's going for a big draw shot.
Yeah, and this slower cloth means he knows he's got to put a good one on it.
Oh no, he's decided to just leave himself a longer cut. But he hasn't come back as far as he'd like to. Makeable, but I think he wanted to be another 6 inches back for this.
don't want to jinx him, but he is very good at this type of shot. So that means I've just jinxed him.
Ah, no, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, that was indeed good under the pressure, especially given the score.
Yeah, a couple of good shots there. And he needed them.
All
So he
right.
pulls just to 1 behind. He now trails Chang Yulong 4 racks to 3.
He didn't let him get himself get affected by going behind. Managed to come back. So I'm not sure if maybe we'll switch to seeing. Here we see the 6 p.m. match, session 4 on day 3. And what a match that'll be. We have 2 home rivals, Jeffrey De Luna versus Johan Cha, both from the Philippines. That will be a match to savour for sure. Maybe we can get a view of the hall, see who's playing. Perhaps some of the ladies' matches. That's Ko Pin Yi, who just knocked out Aloysius. Can't see who's playing there. But the last time we had the camera on this table, he was at the table as well. So I think he's doing well in this match so far. And back to the main table then. Naoki looking to level it up with the opportunity to do so off the break. Well, this is a cuttable ball, but I don't think he can hold it for the 2, if it even goes past the 4 ball there. So see the cue ball going up and down a bit here. Oh, it does go past the 4 by the looks of it. So it's worth to try and whether he can hold this. No, he's gone for the up and down shot, and he hasn't got the line right. And he's blocked the 3 as well. So even if he is able to cut the 2 there, he's going to have difficulty getting position. It's not a bad leave given where the 3 is. A little freer to take on a shot like that when you've got 2 balls tied up. And the pros always seem to miss these kind of shots on the thin side, so they've got a higher chance to leave the object ball safe.
Then you see a good angle of what he's faced with. So he's decided just to pot the ball.
Oh, there might be a bank on. He might have seen a bank. He could, if he can make the bank, he could even try to potentially leave the cue ball safe somewhere. So it might be worth a pop. When the balls are like that, very close, you can choose to push the 9 to one side or the other. So we'll see if he can try and make this into a combo, or it might even be dead set. Depends. We'll see which side he hits it on.
Well, he's loading up, isn't he? So he's going for it.
Oh, he was. Looks like he was going for the safety all out. Got it very nicely. Or has he? Because Naoki's down very quick on this, so maybe he hasn't. Oh, I think from the overhead it looks like you can see it quite easily, so maybe even better make this. Oh, look at that. Perhaps he was going for the 9 and sold out.
I think he was going for the 9, but I didn't like it. It just didn't look like it was dead set, because they were touching. It was always going to throw off a little bit weird, and cue ball was running. I just I didn't see it. Didn't see it at all. So the push out from Chang earlier on, and he's chased a bit of a mad combo on the 9, and he's let Naoki get back into this match. Yeah, the cue ball's good enough there. Good shot on the 8. Couple of rails. And the 9 vanishes, and we're tied at 4-4. Let's have a look, see if we've got any live scores that we can bring you. Robbie Capito. He's playing Tien, the man who just knocked out Biardo. That match is 2-2. Koping rather. He's down 3-1. He's playing another Vietnamese player. Vietnamese players have been doing well this week.
I think 24 of them came over.
Wow.
Surprised to see so many in the draw. So from what I've seen, Long Duck is looking the strongest, but I must admit I don't know this Tat Kien guy, so it's obviously very strong. So every time the camera goes over, Kopeni's at the table. He's actually behind. Yeah, 3-1 down, as you said. Going to break, and he's going to try and control that cue ball a bit better this time. Well, looks like it's come out okay. Pretty sure we'll see him go at this combo. The trick with these shots is always to try and control a shot on the 1 next. Always depending on the angle you've got. So a little draw, soft draw on it. Oh, very nice. Oh, I don't see any problems here, Carl.
No, the only problem that may come is himself, because all the balls are just sat nice, aren't they? There's no clusters, there's no traffic. This may be the hardest shot of the rack, and that's only because he's using the bridge. There you get a good look at that expensive
Oh, he
cue
didn't
he's
want the
using.
cue ball there. You were right. It's amazing how often I see pool players playing surprisingly bad shots with the rest, and it's just because they don't get to use it so much as the snooker players, right? They're just not comfortable with it.
Yeah, they're terrible with it, to be honest. Most of the Asians, the Americans, are some of the worst I've ever seen with the bridge.
Yeah, these days they tend to have all these fancy extensions, right? They're using extra bits on the cue, then they've got another 8-inch extension in the bag, and they can pretty much reach anything on the table, but they're bridging on the butt sometimes rather than get the bridge out. But it works.
Just going to float over to the left side of the table, use the 1 rail, shoot the 8 in the top right pocket.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Chang back in the lead at 5-4.
So the TV table match is actually going faster than the matches on the outside, which is a little unusual.
You were talking about Vietnamese players bringing. They've brought quite a lot of players for the ladies event as well. That started today. Started at 4 o'clock, just like these last 16 matches. Yu An Ran from Vietnam, I believe.
No, she's from China. She's actually she's from China.
Yu An Ran. She's 3-2 up over Rublin Amit from the Philippines.
She lives locally. She's a very sharp young new player on the scene.
Do we know who would the tournament favourite be for that event?
From what I've seen, the Filipinos are always favourites. Like even like for the men. So see, there's Rublin and Cheska. But I have seen one of the Vietnamese ladies playing a lot of games in the evening, and she just doesn't miss. But I don't know what her name is, so I can maybe try and find that out later. Silviana Liu there is Aloysius's partner, and she is extremely strong. Having had the experience of getting my butt whooped by her, I put her as one of the favourites in the tournament, but I don't know enough of the other players.
Also, Robbie Capito's girlfriend, is she competing? Because she just won a big tournament out in America.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she's here competing though.
I think I saw her training with him. I didn't know who it was, but that would make sense. I heard she's strong.
Yeah, she just won a big ladies event. She beat Alison Fisher in the final.
Oh, okay, that's okay. So interesting to see Anne Rand's actually up on Rublin Amit there, who's was the ladies 10-ball world champion. It was a few years back now, but she's still very, very strong. Plays very fast, very aggressive. A lot of ladies play a little bit slower, let's say, a little bit more carefully, but she plays very fast and aggressive. It's nice to watch, yeah. So Naoki's looking good to level it up here. It's going to top spin over to back to the. Oh, it's come up a little bit short on that, so he might have to come 2 rails back for the 8. I believe he'd like to have been a bit straighter. Yeah, he's done well there. Don't see any problems with this. Centre ball come up. Well, a little bit short, but shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, Robbie Capito's girlfriend, she's called Amber Chen. I was just having a look then, that's why I've gone a little bit quiet. There's so many pool players all over the world. I mean, I'm involved in the game and I don't know who everyone is. And this is what the aim of the APF and Matchroom pool are trying to achieve. We're trying to see who's out there, see how big the game is.
Yeah, you tend to see in the ladies as well that you'll have a player come up relatively fast and suddenly start winning tournaments, and then they kind of go away again quite quickly. There's obviously players like the Fishers from UK, Alison and Kelly, both have been around obviously for a long time, but
yeah, and there is Robbie Capito. That's who we're actually talking about.
Or we might get a glimpse of Amber then. She's probably watching.
I don't actually know if she's here though. I don't know if she's still in America. I know Robbie was with her in the States.
But from the picture you just showed me, I think. Yeah, I think no. I think she was here practicing with him the other night. Yeah.
Right, so I'm looking in the ladies' draw. Sorry if we're getting a bit sidetracked here. Maybe.
It's tough to tell though from the picture, to be honest. I think she had shorter hair than that, but you know, these ladies changing their hairstyles all the time. It could be.
Can't see a name in the draw. However, it might be not Amber Chen.
Well, quite often that happens. I've seen that happen before when they use the Chinese name rather than the local name. There's an example the other day where William Ang was playing, and he's a former representative for Singapore, and he actually played Steve Davis in one of the big events. But you can't find it looking for his William Ang because he was in under his Chinese name. So I was trying to look for it, and he's used a different name for that event back then. It's about 10 years ago now. But he got knocked out by Aloysius. Did pretty well. I think it was 9-6, 9-7. He got quite close. He's a strong player locally. Also has a pool fusion and a middle road. There's quite a lot of Singaporeans in here. Fraser, of course, as well. Fraser Liao, another aspiring young player. He was this year's national 9-ball champion. So Aloy was overseas for that event, I have to add, but he did very well. I think he beat Tolin Han in the final, so earned that national title very well, which was here just a couple of months back. Oh, very unexpected miss there. He's kind of jerked at it, didn't he?
Yeah, well, we were talking about how smooth he is, but just a few signs in this match tells me he's not really been quite at the races. And that, well, that was an absolute shocker.
Just lack of concentration, maybe. It's hard to keep up that killer focus for a whole match. It's quite often, you know, one or two mistakes are going to come at some point. It's about how you deal with it.
Nice safety there from Oi.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got room to try and jump for a kick and stick on this. If there's enough room behind it. No, there isn't. So not that easy, really. I mean, no doubt he'll hit it, either catch the edge of the ball, possibly pot it if he catches the edge of the ball, or cushion first and come in behind it, but he's not going to get a stick out of it, I think.
I'm amazed he's not going 2 rails, to be honest.
Because he could kick it into the corner, right? Yeah.
Well, if he kicks it slow, he can kick it to the side rail, but I mean, he's obviously playing the pot. That was the problem we get. I presume he was playing the pot because the cue ball was always going to squirt out from that angle.
Right.
He hit it as good as he could have hit on that bottom rail, but you could never get the kick and stick.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. He went for the cut, just missed the ball, and then came in behind it instead. Yeah. Not a give me though. Because it's just off angle, so when he draws back he's going to be coming close to the side cushion, so he needs to draw it back quite a long way up the table to give him a shot on the 5 to get to the 6. If he stops too short he won't get over for the he's trying to force follow it, which is a much more difficult shot with spin. I like just screwing back up somewhere by the 9 on that shot. It would have been higher chance of making the pop, but of course if he made that shot it's perfect on the 5, so it's the kind of decisions you're faced with out there. Ooh, wasn't in the middle either. And now he's come a bit straight. He's all right though.
Both players have had chances. Fair enough, Nukio's chance on the 4. It was never going to be easy.
It's one of those hard shots to leave a hard shot, which is always puts a lot of pressure on yourself in that kind of situation, or a very, very hard shot to leave yourself an easy shot. And I think when you're under pressure, you tend to go for those, the second option, even though the first option might be the right one.
somehow, after Chang missed that straight in 4 ball in the corner, well, he's managed to win this rack. I believe he's going to have a timeout, so that means we're going to have a little ad break as well. So get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack. Chang's 6-5 up over Oi, and we'll see how this match finishes up in just a few minutes.
You think you know Singapore? It's time to reimagine.
You think it's all skyscrapers?
Then what's this?
And this.
And this.
And this!
You think it is one island?
Then what's this? And this.
You think we're a city that never stops?
Then what's this?
And this.
Singapore, you think it's a country?
A city?
An island?
Think again. It's so much more!
You don't have to play like a pro to enjoy the game I love.
If you've ever played in a friend's basement, you can compete in an APA league. In the APA, everyone can play and anyone can win. So if you're looking for a fun night out with your friends and family, join an APA pool league today. Have fun, meet people, play pool. Visit poolplayers.com today.
Chang Yulong 6, Naoki Oi 5. The last rack, Chang missed a very easy 4-ball. Got away with it. Naoki had a chance. It wasn't easy, but in the end, it went to Chang. Oi to break. And look at the split here. This is very good, very good. There's no problems here.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a tight one. Always chalking up his mares there. I think most of the Japanese players are using mares. It's probably the favorite local brand there. I don't see a Mez sticker on his T-shirt though, so I'm wondering now. So what his challenge here is the 7 and the 8 ball. The angle he wants on the 5 to get out. So that's where he's decided to try and come up a bit straighter on it, so he doesn't have to contend with going around that side of the table.
Could maybe go through the middle of the 7 and the 8.
And play for the 6 in the middle, in the centre. Yeah. He could check it as well. No, he's going around, I think. Yeah. Well, he could check this though. Yeah, he's going around for the middle.
Needs to get higher though, because the 7 ball doesn't pass the 8.
Right.
So he's landed a little bit short, so he's going to have to go forward with spin and try and come.
Doesn't go past the 9 either, does it? I don't know where he's going to get on that.
I think he's got to try and come through the gap and shoot the 7 in one of the top pockets. Maybe even play the 7 in the left middle. He's got 3 pockets to go at.
Right. So they've shinned these pockets to 4.1 inches. The tables were 4.3. Well, they're 4.5 when they were installed, but with the slidey cloth they had on it before, it was just break and run city. So they tightened the pockets up to 4.3, but they've actually brought them down to 4.1 for this event. So
shooting the combo.
They make these look easier than they are. These guys. Great shot. Thing is with those combos, it's just getting good on them. If you're confident you can put the cue ball in the right spot, they made it a lot easier. Have you seen any real shockers on the 9 ball this week so far, where people have been like ball in hand like that and then missed one?
No, not on the 9. We've seen a few funny things. Somebody dropped a piece of chalk and it rolled on the table and hit the 9, so that was a foul. Which I've not. I have seen it, but I've not seen it in.
Wasn't one of those round chalks, was it, by any chance?
I think it was actually. It just went rolling and hit the 9. There you see the last 16. We're currently on the 4 p.m. match. This match, what we can see right now, is the 6 p.m. round. So that is the next match coming up. A battle of the Philippines between Jeffrey De Luna and Johan Chua. Johan Chua has been absolutely flying around the table. What a match that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see whether he slows his game down now, where he's playing one of his compatriots, someone, you know, how many times they must have played. So they know what each other is capable of, whether he'll bring it down a notch or whether he's just going to carry on in the same vein. It'll be very interesting. Oh, now this is an interesting one, because it kind of looks like he's going to need a little bit of left-hand spin to throw this in. And of course, then there's the other issue of getting back to the 2. He's got to punch it to get out into the center of the table at least. And the 5's going to come into play. Oh,
so the referee's got an issue at the minute.
Good job in the end. Oh, I see. The 3's blocking the 2 anyway, so not a lot of value in trying to make something out of this one. Just going to play it to... Sometimes when you're in a situation like this, it's easier to play safe on the ball you can pot, which is kind of goes against what you feel like as a ball player, to put the ball in, but let's see what he does here. I don't see any kind of carom or combo on the 2. Don't see any way he can smash the ball around and open it up.
Can he play a stop shot? Or is the jaw in the way?
Oh dear. So he didn't hit the center of the pocket, hit it thick, and now he's hooked himself. It was a tough situation to know what was for the best there, but it's the worst outcome possible.
Just trying to bump this to up past the 9.
This. Oh no, he's hit it full. That's not bad. Don't think it goes in the middle past the 9. I think the 9's blocking. He can just graze off this though, can't he? Leave the 2. Where it is pretty much. Black's in the way of any possible plant. At least 2 cushions to hit this. Question is which side. Slightly favourable up that side. Oh, he's coming off the back with spin. Okay.
With ball in hand though, can Nukio even pot the 2?
Oh, it goes past the black. Oh.
Well, he didn't play that. He's held his hand up. That is absolutely incredible.
It didn't look like it was anywhere near set to that pocket, but anyway, wow. We haven't seen many of those that week, of those kind of shots this week, right? The sort of lucky 9s.
No, we haven't, to be fair. And it was lucky. That's why he's put his hand up.
Have you had a golden break? Yeah.
I've not seen one on this table, no. It's going to be... It's not really going to happen because they're playing the softest cut break, so 9 ball's not really going to get moving around.
Right.
I think maybe once it kind of threatened the middle, but
Well, in most tournaments you do have a few, right?
yeah, it all depends on what break format you're using. This break format for these players is, well, it's too easy.
To put it bluntly.
Yeah, just that little cut break.
Oh, is that making it? Yeah, it's just legal there.
No pot for Oi.
Won't be happy with that. It's going to be hooked back after this one.
Yeah, the last racking a little bit. He's going through the motions. He's seen Chang fluke the 9 after he'd played a pretty good safety shot as well.
Didn't see that coming. Honestly, yeah, surprised he went at that really, because if he hadn't made it, he could have, you know, passed the right back to Oi, but it was a pretty easy safety shot. But I guess these guys, once they're at the table, they want to stay there. And in fairness, he saw it and made it, so.
Yeah, and the fact that the cue ball's not really moved anywhere means it was dead set. I think the 3-ball passes, so it was actually a well thought out decision. Because now you can see he's on the 3, and once this 3 goes, all the balls are in the open, so he will have known just make the bank, and I've got a good chance of getting 2 racks in front.
Oops, slow up. Oh, it's fine.
Four matches are in play now for this round of 16. Another 4 will be played at 6 p.m. And every table is quite tight.
Yeah, it's come a bit straight on this one. It's so gonna force follow or draw. If he draws, he's got to make sure he misses the 9 and land on a dime. So I don't think he'll be fancying that. I'm sure he's gonna do here. Nice force followed and come up short. Yeah, he just landed funny on that. It's one of those shots where you think, I can't go wrong, and then you just something weird about it.
We have seen that. I'm not saying we've seen it a lot, but we have seen this happen where the players are coming round to come up on a ball and they just keep landing short on it. Well, is he going to go game or is he going to play safe? I think he's going for the bank. He's missed it.
Ooh, missed by quite a long way. Guess because of the speed, throws wider. If he'd made, but he needed that speed to come round for position. So yeah, missed opportunity there for sure. Letting Oi back in here. I don't think this is a scratch. So just got to concentrate on making it. It's a very natural angle to come back up. No spin needed really, from what I can see. Oh.
Threw his whole body into that shot. So much
I think
body
it was a
movement.
scratch there, and then that's why he's hit it like that. Left himself a tester. They do polish these balls in between every match, so we're now 13 games in. We're worn off a little bit. This is one of those shots where you can scratch when you come back round 3 cushions, but no, he's checked it up. See amateurs scratching a lot off that shot because they like to put outside spin on it, and then the ball will come 2 rails, go back in the corner. These guys are very well aware of that. Something, I haven't seen this template before actually, red one. They're usually black, these magic racks. Don't know what's different with this one. Probably just the colour.
I think it's actually plastic, this one. It's very thin plastic. The one that we use in the Matchroom events is actually red as well, but it's more like a fabric feel.
Ah, okay.
There you can see it's very thin plastic, probably a lot more hard wearing.
I think this is actually the original brand Magic rack, right? Whereas all those cloth ones you mentioned, yeah, sort of came after the original Magic rack. Seems to be a break cue of choice for a lot of pros. The Predator one, the BK Rush. What break cue do you use yourself?
When I was competing, I used Predator cues. That's the cues I first started playing with, so I used them right until the end.
So even though it's got Taiwanese brand cue, but still using a Predator brake, so obviously he likes it. Something about it. Very popular.
Well, this one's gone wrong.
Was he trying to get in behind the 9? Sort of bump the 9 and leave the cue ball behind the 2, maybe? Open the rack up like that. Although it's probably a 3-ball combo here. It looks dead set, doesn't it?
Just another strange shot, because the angle he was coming off at the 1, it didn't look like he could get over near them 2 balls to me. Yeah, he's just taking a bit of time here because he knows to get back down the left side of the table, he's got to put a bit of right-hand English on this ball.
Yeah, it makes it tough at distance, and he's coming across the line, so he's got to land perfect on it as well. And I think he played for the combo there, looking by where the cue ball is, because it does really look dead set. But we'll never get to find out, I feel, because whatever happens here, I see that 4-ball getting disturbed somehow.
This match has just started to get a little bit scrappy now.
So this match will put one of the players into the last 8, is it? It's a last 16 match now? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, that'll do fine. Oh, it's nice. I mean, a little bit fortunate maybe to get all those kind of bumps and rolls to land exactly there, because it's just rolls forward now and it's game over.
Yeah, he took a gamble, didn't he? He just played the carom and thought, well, if it's my day, it's my day. And I think it may well just be your day. You've had a fluke 9, and then this is set up nicely for a quick rack, and again, you're going to take the lead. 2-9 combo.
Yeah, he made that look easy.
All the matches are fairly close. Masato Yoshikawa, he's trailing Irwin 6-4. Kopin-Yi is also trailing 7-5 to Kian.
Looks like this Tap Dui Ken is a surprise Vietnamese player.
Robbie Capito's leading Tien 5-4, and then of course we know Chang Yulong is leading New Kyo 8-7. There is Robbie Capito. He's having a good run. He's had a pretty good season in some of the big majors. He's gone fairly deep. Void to break, trailing 8 racks to 7. He's got a shot on the 2 here. He has got a shot, and it's a legal break, so what a time. Seems to be breaking the better of the 2, getting the kind of splits.
So is this a new model for Matchroom now to sort of partner up with other associations to do like additional events like this? Is there going to be seeing more of this kind of thing where you have APF together with Matchroom doing this, traveling around?
Yeah, I believe that is the kind of plan that's in place, because you know, Matchroom have got their own ranking system in place now, and they just want to get events all over the world part of that, and I believe there'll be certain criteria that need to be followed. But it seems to be a smart business model. Good for all the players, good for these Asian players, because they're the ones that seem to have to travel the most to all the bigger events, the events what we class as the big majors. So if they can get a few events in Asia that go towards that ranking, then at least they can play some local events and try and get up on the rankings where the rewards will come. Like if you finish in the top 16, you'll be in the World Pool Masters, and then there's the Premier League.
That's a good point. I never thought about that. That the Asian players that you see on those European and US events are at a disadvantage because they're not used to the conditions. They're having to travel. They've got jet lag all the time, and so it's a little bit the other way around. But actually, why is there no players come over from Europe and US for this? Was it just because they didn't, or was it not allowed?
I'm not so sure if it wasn't allowed. I think for obviously European or Americans to come over for just this one event, maybe they're not thinking it's worth their while. So if you look at Shane Van Bonen, who's the current #1, the winner of this isn't really going to overtake him because there's not enough money at stake. So it's going to become a theme a little bit like golf, where if you're high on the rankings and you need ranking points to qualify for certain events, then you're going to show up to some of the lower prize money events just to try and collect more money, because it's going to be a money list, the ranking. So whatever you win in money, that will be your ranking.
So it's like a strategic thing more than anything else then.
Yeah, so if you've won some big tournaments and you're high in the rankings, maybe you'll decide to take a little bit of time off and not play some of the lesser tournaments.
I think this is a pretty big purse given Singapore standards, though. Since I've been here, I think it's definitely the biggest I've ever experienced. So yeah, definitely hope it's the start of something new.
Yeah, I believe it will be. I think there's a big market in Asia. We all know how good the players are, and that is going to be the next match coming up, the battle of two young Filipinos, De Luna versus Chua, at 6 p.m. And of course that is a last 16 match as well. There you see some of the other matches.
So that's the other Vietnamese now.
Kian.
Yeah, so I haven't seen him play. He hasn't been around in the evenings on the action tables, so not that I noticed anyway. So interesting to see him getting this far and doing this well.
Yeah, and he's leading Ko Ping Yi 7-6.
I mean, that says it all, really, doesn't it, Carl? I mean, Ko Ping Yi's never a pushover. Yeah, 2 racks in front. We don't know who lagged that. Be interesting to see who's got the break next on this. It's a lot of the local spectators in the background here helping out as volunteers. This is a closed door event. But obviously some people, if they're in helping out, they can get to watch the matches in between doing their duties. Here's the man who just put Carlo out, using a very pretty Perry cue. Jason sponsored by Perry as well, isn't he? So it's very common in Asia, but not so common in Europe, and or maybe it is now because Jason's been using it for a while. So he's leveled it. He's going to level this up with Robbie. Oh, he's got the break as well against Copigny, so chance to go 9-6 up, which would... Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of those kind of big comebacks this week, right? I guess because of the winner break format, of course, but if he gets 9-6 in front, he's going to be favourite.
Yeah, see, the thing is, when you play alternate break and a match seems to just go one-sided, because that's what can happen at pool, you're less likely to see a comeback. That's why, for me, I prefer winner breaks. I want to see more drama. I want to see someone sat in the chair for 3 or 4 racks, going through the pain.
Secret sadist there, Carl.
That's me.
He's slightly the wrong side of this too, so I don't know whether he can draw it back with reverse spin to hold for the 3, or he's going to try and find a gap to go up table. It's tricky to see what kind of angle he's got. If he gets on, oh, look at this. No, no. Tried to check it up, come back down that side and caught the 7.
Well, at least he's got a shot on that ball. We'll keep you updated with the scores, as always. That's if you're not following on digitalpool.com. Back to the action here. This match is 8-8.
What's the rule with the timeout, actually? 1 per player per match, and then 5 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, maybe it's 1 per player. That's a better break, better cue ball control.
Yeah, he's unlucky though with the 1 coming round too far. So choices here between a bank that's got to be made, not an easy bank, it's not dead set by any means, but it does lend position to come up for the 2. So to counteract the spin that will be generated when you try to bank this, is going to put a little bit of outside on the cue ball, and that's the natural way to come up for the 2. So because of that, we might see him go at this. Oh, got to, yeah. Get that right. I don't think he's left enough of this 1 ball to make it though. Might have enough of it. Came out of that okay. Still not happy with himself though.
No, he missed the bank effort by a long way.
Here you see the Michigan written there on Chang's top. I think that's the event that Aloysius won last year after the US Open. He lost to Carlo in the final, and they went straight to Michigan and nailed that event, which put him to #1 in the world. That came back to Singapore last August, September as #1 in the world. So that's pretty, that was in all the local newspapers and what have you. I didn't see what happened there. Oh, thank you very much. Well, it's his turn to get a bit of luck back now, isn't it? After Chang getting 2 easy 9 balls. So can't begrudge him that one. Got to take his opportunity now. Doesn't want to end up straight on the 2. Roll it. Doesn't want to stay behind the 9 either. So it's a, oh my word. Did he miscue that? He's probably had it in his head, just make this and you're out. And then lack of focus. He missed it by such a long way. It seemed almost like some kind of miscue.
Oh, he's gone for it. Oh my. I thought he'd fluked it then. That'd have been an unbelievable fluke.
It's crazy how often you cut a ball down the cushion and catch that edge, right? I mean, it's not sticking out, but for some reason it is. It just, even when the object ball's close to the cushion, you still seem to find that edge. I've never understood the physics of that.
This will be fine. It's been a funny match, this. We're used to these players playing flawless or making 1 or 2 errors, but
No, and that's an error, another one.
I'm amazed he didn't go 2 rails there, to be fair. Go underneath the 6.
It's kind of a trend that you've seen change in the modern times, going from the kind of more standard conditions to the sort of slippy, fast cloth polished balls that players tend to do those kind of straight, simple, up and down centre ball shots much more often than, you know, when you learn to play pool in the pool hall, you're always spinning the cue ball all over the shop, right? Whereas these days, the players seem to keep it more simple. But like you said, if your way to play that shot, he's running into the line of the 5, rather than coming across it. So yeah, it's nice recovery to make it, but he kind of needs another one here. Just a stop ball, leave him at the right angle to come up for the 9. Nothing fancy here, I think. Okay, well done. Another tester here. He's got to cue this quite sweetly, actually. I guess he's going to favour kind of like a draw up that side of the table. Possibly use that right-hand side cushion. It's not a give me. And McHugh's gone flying up in the air on that one. He's still okay though.
Does a lot of body movement and things like that, but when you see the replays, you realise he sort of does it after the contact. Just looks a little messy. This 9 ball to take the lead, and it's there. Good rack there from the Ukiyo. A couple of nice shots to open up a 1 rack advantage. It's 9-8. Updates from the out of tables. Kien is leading 8-7 over
Oh, so he
Copigny.
didn't get out in that rack he broke, and Copigny brought that back. Yeah.
Robbie Capito is 7-5 over Tien. And Yoshika.
Masato. Is that a player you know, Carl?
Yeah, I know him,
I think he did well in the US in one of the 10 ball events, didn't he,
yeah.
last year?
I know who he is. That's him right there on our screens.
Ah, yeah. Did he get to the final with Kopin Chung in the 10 ball at Las Vegas? He definitely got like last 4.
I don't really follow 10 ball. I forget all about 10
Really?
ball. Yeah.
Okay. Ah, yeah, it's not a Matchroom event, that.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just something I don't watch. I'm always doing, you know, the 9 ball and Matchroom stuff, so I just don't really follow it all.
Right.
I feel like it's a completely different game, as bizarre as that sounds.
That's probably why you don't know about that Michigan one he's got there. And there. It's, that's the 10. That was 10
Right,
ball,
okay.
and then yeah, I think it's. All right, so Chang really needs this now. Doesn't want Naoki to get on the hill, so there's a lot of pressure on him getting out on this rack, and the first shot's not simple to get back across for that 3. He's going to draw across, need some spin maybe. Oh, he's played it off the 9. Well, pro skills at display there to judge the kiss off the 9, to come back across, ball in hand, perfect. So that was a great shot.
he's landed straight, he may have to change his path, his route. If he's got a little bit of angle, he'll just roll forward. Yeah, just kind of there where he's signalling with his cue. He should be okay now in this rack.
It's nicely judged.
All 4 of these last 16 matches, there's just one rack that splits every single match. This is how tight it has got.
A bit short on that 8 ball, but should be no problem. Gonna roll it in and take a slightly longer 9, or it can come off the bottom cushion. Just sort of a bit in between. Decided to roll it and take the slightly longer 9 out. It's pretty much a straight ball, so I wouldn't expect any problems. Boom. Well, making a game of it. 9 apiece. Quick rack. Copenhagen's brought it back to 8-8 now against the Vietnamese.
This match is now a best of 3 to see who advances through to the quarterfinals. This is where the pressure just gets cranked up a little bit more. Mistakes now are going to be absolutely magnified. Chang to break. It's 9-9.
Oh, he's got kicked with the white in the pocket. Would you believe it? That's the first time I think we've seen such an unfortunate stroke of luck as that in this match. And what a time for it to happen.
Nothing you can do about that. That is just the game of pool.
And there's nothing on the table to inhibit Naoki to get out here. And we haven't done any commentators' curses yet so far today, so hoping I don't do it now. It's okay. A lot of the players, the referee, all wearing those kind of undergarments with the long sleeves to keep themselves warm. The polar opposite of being in UK, where we heat everything inside so it's lovely and warm and toasty, and then you put your jacket on to go outside. It's exactly the opposite here. You need your jacket inside. It seems a bit crazy to me, but that's the way it is.
Well, what a time for Chang to get a random ball to kicking off. Naoki is the first man on the hill, and he will be breaking in the next rack.
Now, given how this match started off, I wouldn't have seen this coming. But I guess that's credit to Naoki's experience to just stay cool and wait for his chances and come back.
Yeah, Chang was leading 4-1. Yeah, we've already told you The next match is a 6 p.m. match, so that's just in 20 minutes. This match will have finished, the one that we're watching, so it'll be pretty much straight away, give or take a few minutes. DeLuna versus Chua.
No idea what break cue that is. You don't have like a comments thing here where people can make comments, right? Because usually there's going to be someone out there who's going to know what it is.
No, I'm afraid not. Not on TV. Some of the live streams that you see on computers, they can comment on stuff like that. I mean, people may be watching the YouTube stream, so they might be asking on there.
So when you say on TV, this is being broadcast in Europe and US on some pay-per-view channels. Is that what you mean?
In Europe, this is being shown on Matchroom Pool Facebook channel and their YouTube channel and Matchroom.live.
Okay.
Everywhere else would be wherever the APF have got the TV rights.
Okay.
Well, there's no choice. He's got to kick 2 rails. He's trying to pot it in the corner. There's 3 balls down at the bottom end of the table. Good things can happen. He might get a hook. He might get a hook. He might get the hook.
Ah, yeah. Well spotted that it's a good opportunity for that to happen. Isn't left it easy.
I think he's got to be happy where they've finished up. Whenever you're kicking like that, you're not sure, are you? Just distance. Hopefully buys himself another shot at the table.
Hey, the only thing is with this cut into the corner is that it would probably give him position on the 4. It's kind of like the natural angle for the cue ball to come round past the 8, past the 7 and in between the 9, something like that. If he chooses to go for it, he could look to cut this on the thin side. So if he does miss it, the 2 is going to roll up onto that top cushion. The safety's available, of course, just to put the 2 up and down, but he's gone for it and he's come up, and he was actually putting his cue for that cue ball to come, I think, in between the 6 and 9, but it's just as good there. He's got himself a shot now. So that was a really great shot under pressure to make that 2 ball. Give himself a chance to finish the match off. Oh, gosh. Oh, dear. It's all happening now, as they say.
Yeah, all because he had to pull the cue ball back, so he had to play it with a bit of pace, and Chang had the run of the ball first section of the match, and I think it's fair to say that has switched over, but at least Chang's back at the table. He can kick this in 1 rail, spin the cue ball round.
Yeah, that shot was basically the match, and might have been in Noki's head. I mean, it shouldn't have been, but it's natural for those little thoughts to creep in. Just one last shot, and then that can happen. I think he just stuck with the safety on that, and he's done it very well. Didn't want to take any risks.
Yeah, that was an impressive kick save.
He might have left the edge of this, or he can go cushion first with a little top spin, and that'll stun. Oh, yeah, he could hit it. He could hit it directly, so he had easier to control it like that. But he's left a pot. Nothing easy on the positional side, of course, but he's done some things today which have defied the laws of physics, so maybe that safety shot has paid off, given him a shot You got to go for it, really, haven't you, Carl, when you've got a shot like this? And I don't think this is the position to be playing safe in. May come around like 3 or 4 rails for the 6.
Oh, he's missed that by a long way.
Yeah.
He really has.
Oh dear.
I'm not saying it was easy, but I fancy him at least hitting the jaws. What angle has Oi got here? Is it an easy, obvious shot to get on the next ball? Doesn't look too bad.
And the speed he played that with as well. It's like even if it went in, I fancied him having a very long 6. Nice shot there. He was quite straight, so he was able to like punch draw that, generate a bit more angle to come up. Not as much as he'd like. He's going to have to draw off the 9 here. He might make the 9. Oh, looks like he's going forward. Yeah, he's going forward. Ooh, oh, he did almost make it.
That's come far enough up. That is perfect. So this is looking good for Naoki Oi. This is looking really good. Cue ball needs to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't expect a man of Naoki's experience to make any mistakes here. This is just speed control on this one.
Well, from 4-1 down to Chang Yu Long, Naoki Oi has managed to win the match. 11-9. What a performance and what a win. Naoki Oi, you are through to the quarterfinals. Up next, Jeffrey De Luna from the Philippines. He's playing Yohan Chua, also from the Philippines. 2 young guns. That is going to be an absolute classic. And that'll be on in just 10 minutes' time. Get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack. We'll be back after the break.